Hi! Today we will be working on the HandmadeHero codebase again, and we want to make the debug system visible. So right now when we start HandmadeHero and we open the debug system, the debug menu, everything is black, which isn't great. So why don't we try to fix that? So for that, we'll have to go to the actual source code, which I have right here, and let's look at what happens in the profiler. That is in debug raw profile bars. And there we go. So no, that's not actually what I want. I want the text display. What is that? Top clocks? Top clock? Yeah, the draw top clock list. So it gets a UI from the debug state and we have an ad which shows the rect. There we have a format string into a text buffer. And then a text out of the text buffer. And when the mouse is in the text rectangle, it'll draw the this cumulative to this point tooltip. Okay. This actually doesn't tell us much about how we would make this work. Or maybe there's something I've overlooked. What's this? UI transform. I assume that's in dev UI. What have we here? Tooltips, text, shadow, UI, and backing transform all have a very, very negative Z. That means if the UI transform is consistently used, that means all of the those things have an incredibly negative Z. That means if we can avoid lighting things that have a negative Z, that is, so Z that's smaller than minus 999, that should already stop the UI things from being lit. Well, if that's the way we want to go, then I guess we'll find the place where the shaders are defined. There. And the shader count. There is a lighting disabled define here, which means anything that is not in the hash if for lighting disabled has to do with lighting. So that means these two lines of code are actually what do all the lighting. Well, if that is the case, what I guess we can just do is asking if the gl frag core.z is greater than minus 999 f. And I'm not quite sure how the shader wants it. Perhaps it would like 99.9.0 f. Perhaps I would prefer the value without the f. That means if the Z does not get transformed if it does not get transformed by the which shader is this? Is this the fragment shader? If the Z does not get transformed by the vertex shader, then we're already done. But I assume the Z does get transformed, so oh, it looks like no. GL frag code undeclared. Yeah, so the damn it. Yeah, you should never start GDB with the end there. So we have to force this window to. Oh, okay. Now. I don't know what that freeze was. It says GL frag code is undeclared, which yeah, because I forgot one O. So if there is no Z transform, then we've got it already. However, if I remember correctly, yeah, the Z is transformed. GL position gets the modified Z. And since we don't have the Z max transform, I fear we can't get it back. Now, since these incredibly negative Z's shouldn't happen often, this may be alright. No, but it's not. And that means we need to enable us to get the original Z back. And pretty much the only way we can do that is by having a flat out thing here. So we can do this flat out original, where we have the original Z, and this is an F32. So this is actually extremely easy. We just assign the word p dot z to our original z, and in the fragment shader we just say that now we get an original z value. And instead of comparing against record z, we compare against original z. And if I'm not mistaken, that should compile. And now we can see the debug menu again. We still can't see the tooltip, but at least we can see the rest. So the text in the tooltip is dark, which would be an indicator that it has a much bigger z coordinate. And when we go to dev UI, draw tool, and go to the place where that's actually drawn. It's drawn by the function drawLineBuffer. We see that indeed this does get a z coordinate which is much bigger than minus 999. So if we remove that, we should see text. And we do see text, but we only see a part of the text that does not get obscured by this backing rectangle under there. I assume, especially by that comment here, that this high value in Z was responsible for making it show up above the tooltip there. We can try just giving it a higher Z than the tooltip would have. So 99.1 should suffice. Ah. Oh, I forgot to put a comma. So this Z is now slightly higher than the one of the backing transform, but that didn't seem to do much. Well, if that's the case, the one thing we can do is simply draw this before the backing rectangle here, and that should now make the text show up, maybe, because at the time when we're drawing the text there is nothing with a higher Z above it. Well, that seemed to have worked beautifully. There is still this. Let me pause this. Here is some nice place to see it. So for this text, the backing transform and the other seems to align, but if we click on the clocks, we will see that this rectangle seems to be shifted in regards to where the text is drawn, which is very weird because all tooltip draws go through the same code. I haven't figured that one out yet, but we were pretty lucky that it is the case, because otherwise I would not have seen what the problem was with this backing rectangle. And you see the text still draws under the rectangle, but well, for now I don't feel like doing anything about it. Should just be happy that I made this debugging system to show up, and I guess that's all I'm going to do for today. So thanks for watching, if you will be watching, and if not, then thanks for not watching, I guess. See you next time.